Hits of hell.
Is your dad living?
Yeah, he's living.
If you hear something in the
You know
background,
he's listening to this.
I know. Oh, he know who he is. My daddy know he ain't bleepity bleep.
So, as I was saying, I wanted to talk about church, and I wanted to talk about so many things that people do not consider when joining a church or being part of a church community that I think people should consider. And some things that bother me, some things that I like, some things that I don't like. This eyebrow is just doing me dirty. I don't care. I'm just doing something like so I can have pictures today. And I'm realizing that being in church can be one of the most draining thing that can happen to you. Yeah, especially serving in a church. It can be one of the most draining things. And I'm going to talk about some things that can make it the worst place for you. The first things is expectations. If in your mind, sorry, I'm looking at my brushes. If in your mind you have an expectation, this my eyebrows. You have an expectation. What am I saying? That is unrealistic. That if you go to church, you will find all the nicest people in the world. That if you go to church, you will find people who will care and won't be mad and won't be jealous, people who won't be hypocritical about you, people who won't disrespect you, people who won't misuse you or manipulate you. Your expectation is unrealistic. Because you're not going to a place where people are perfect, you're going to a place where people are working on themselves. And I get this a lot with people when you get to, I even experience this a lot, when you finally get to a church and like, I want to serve here, this is where God is calling me to be, and you start doing it right. You start like joining the department, you start meeting people, personality starts clashing because some personalities are like oil and water. There is no way they will ever mix. Some of the personality are like water and sugar, they blend perfectly. You will start noticing that not everyone is perfect. You will start noticing that people can actually be nasty. You will start noticing that people can hurt your feelings on purpose. You will start noticing that some people don't care about you, they care just about your gift. They don't care about how you're doing, they just care about what you can give. So, for them, that's the only reason why you're important. So, expectations are very important to adjust before you join a church community because those expectations will save you from a lot. Why do you go to a church? That is a big question you should ask yourself. The first reason why you should go to a church is to grow in your relationship with Jesus. That's the first reason why. You should find a community that helps you become the better version of yourself, but that helps you grow in your relationship with Jesus, that help you build a bond with Jesus, that help you navigate Monday to Saturday, because you'll be in church on Sunday and maybe another day during the week. But church should be the place where you're equipped for the rest of the week, so you can be able to walk this thing out for real. But not everybody does that. Some people wear church as a hat. And I feel like if you enter in this with the expectation that I'm meeting perfect people who got everything together, you have just failed from the beginning because not everybody is like that. And if you enter in it with the expectation that because these people preach Jesus, they will do right by me when it comes to every decision they make, that's also a lie. Because they're people. God still called them, but they're people. And it will take me to the next people that I will speak about is your leaders. I think this is where people end up being church hurt. When you have insane expectations on your leaders. And let me be straight because I don't want to be misunderstood. Church can be the most toxic place in the world. Can be the place where you feel the most manipulated, can be the place where you feel the most used, or you feel the most hurt by people. Sometimes even by your leaders, you feel like they don't value who you are, they don't care about your opinion, they are ready to make decisions that will make you feel belittled, that will even delay you in life just because it works for their agenda. That happens a lot. And that is an abusive space that most people do not know how to deal with. You find yourself in an environment where your leader is the one who's discouraging you from service, from loving God, from going far. And what do? You adjust your expectations, especially if you know that you're calling the right place. And if you're calling the right place, don't just adjust your expectation, but show people how to treat you. You don't have to be rude for people to treat you right. You just have to say out loud the things you do you will not tolerate. Obviously, will you be taken well? No. You might be called a rebel or something. Or worse, you'll be called disloyal. You'll be called horrible. But I am learning that it is okay to stand up for yourself, even in areas where people are used to not doing it. So, if you know you are called to be in a place and it's abusive, the best way to kill something is to give it a voice. Yeah. That was very deep. I think some people, you missed it. But it's true. I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's true. The moment you tell someone something that is bothering you, it has less power. So, beyond just expectation, speak up. If you don't like something, say, I don't like it. If you do not appreciate something, say you don't appreciate it. Trust me. I've been serving in church for a long time. I don't mean I know a lot, but I know enough. If you don't like something, say something about it. Don't just be the kind of person who complains in the background about what people do and then you don't tell them to their face. Tell them. Don't be rude because you don't need to be rude to speak to someone. And their position demands respect because they are an authority that God put above you. But stand up for yourself. If you feel like something is wrong, it's wrong. So, one of the things that people get wrong is expectations, as I was saying. And I feel like I've explained it in the best way I can. The second thing a lot of people get wrong is loyalty. I think most people don't understand what loyalty is. And loyalty has nothing to do with... What am I trying to say? When I'm loyal to you, I stand by you. I have your back. Whether you do right or wrong, I'll have your back. Whether you were correct in your action or not, I will have your back. But I will not be loyal to a fault. I will not cover up for things you do that are wrong. I will, even though you do something wrong, I will tell you it was wrong. At least if I have the position or the place to do that, I will try my best to tell you. I will not disobey Jesus to be loyal to you. I will not mistreat other people to be loyal to you. I will not agree with the way some people are mistreated. I will not agree with bad behavior just to be loyal to you. It's true. Sorry. Got the hiccups. It's true. When you serve in a place, you have to have the back of the people you're serving with. But you also have to remember that the person who brought us here is God. I like to do this with my hands because it's just better. Anyway. So, if God is the one who brought us here, I'm more loyal to Him than I am to you. I think these are the lessons that I'm learning and I'm trying to implement more for myself this year. I'm trying to do right by God first, before you. I won't disobey Him for you, no matter what position you have. I will listen to Him first. I will adjust to what He says first, because He is first. And that's on period. So another thing is loyalty. Don't be loyal to a fault. Don't let people think that they can just make you do things because of their positions. Things that are wrong, because this happens to a lot of people who are misled by some leaders. Not every leader. Some people are actually very fortunate they have good leaders. But a lot of people are misled by their leaders to cover up, to lie, to do things, and they made them think it's for the sake of honor. It's not. Just because they just want you to cover their shame. I think you should be able to cover the shame of your brother. I think you should be able. Sorry, my phone is dying. I think you should be able to. So sorry, my phone died. I was saying, it should be very possible for you to cover your brother's shame, because it's not because your brother did something wrong that you're gonna go shout it to the rooftops. This was my brother did. No, that's not what it's about, and that's not what I'm talking about. I want to be specific. I want to talk about people making you do or cover up on really bad things that they are doing, and making you feel like you can't do anything about it because of their position, and that's very different. So yeah, but if my brother comes to me and said that, for example, made a mistake about something, and he needs help, he needs prayer, I won't go shout it. I won't go shout it to the rooftops. I'm just talking about how the reason why I'm talking about abusive leaders is because I think it's a reality that can make church draining. When the people who are supposed to help you grow are the people who do not motivate you for growth, and that happens a lot. But I'm seeing a change in this generation where more leaders are being more aware, more committed to people, and that's incredible, and that is encouraged. But I just mentioned on abusive, not to say that every leader everywhere is abusive. Absolutely not. I'm just saying that there's still some, sadly, who are. And I'm saying loyalty should never, me being loyal to you, should never have to mean that my relationship with God is affected. Okay, that is the best way I can put this. Me being loyal to you shouldn't hurt my relationship with God in any way. And if me being loyal to you hurts my relationship with God, maybe our relationship is the problem. Yes. Another thing, other than unmet expectation and loyalty, is romantic relationships. Choosing to date in church is not for the weak of hearts, my people. It is not for those. It is not for the. Let me just eat. It's not for the weak of heart, because there's so many nuances and so many dynamics here. But I'm gonna try to mention as many as possible. Let's say you wanna start dating, and you start dating someone in church, and you start a relationship, and then the relationship ends. Now you have to deal with the fact that your ex is in your church. You have to find a way to deal with moving on, but seeing the person every day. Do you have the heart for that? Think about it. Food for thought. But there's also the dynamic where you go further, where your ex starts dating someone else, but they're still in your church. Ooh, this video, what are you gonna do? You move on? That's not hard. I'm not even saying it's impossible, because at the end of the day, if you're my ex, it happened. Relationships end. So that's fine, and that's normal, and that's acceptable. But for you to move on, like the right way, sometimes it's okay to be far away from the person. But moving on from a person is not hard. You just have to put the right boundaries for yourself, and you have to find out what works for you and what doesn't. And then you just move on. I'm not saying it's impossible at all. I'm just saying the awkwardness of it is just a lot. And at some point you'll even forget if you actually heal properly. The healing is very possible. Another thing that people do not consider is that you can be in church but have an unhealthy relationship with a person from church. And I think that's something people tell themselves, that if I chose to date a church boy, I guess that's how I call it, if I choose to date a church girl, we'll be fine. We will know how to communicate. We will know how to be adults about this. What? We have the Holy Spirit. How can I not know how to treat you? How can I not know how to be patient? The Spirit of the Lord is on me. He anointed me to do mighty things. There is no way if I date the person from church they will mistreat me. There is no way in the world if I date the person from church that they will make me want to curse their ancestors and call them names. There's no way. Yes, there is. Because you're not dating Jesus. You're dating its foundation. You're dating a whole person who has things they're healing from, who has life they're healing from, who have not had the same experience with you about life, who grew up in a different environment than you. They know different things. So there is absolutely way that you could date someone and it be an unhealthy relationship. What is happening here today? So the best thing you could do for yourself is stop assuming that church is the best place for you to find people who are perfect. It's not. Church is a place where all the imperfect ones go. Because they need God. Because they need help. Because they need covering. So when you come out here with a mindset that, my husband is here. He might be, but I guess I'm not saying that you shouldn't look for your spouse in church. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want you to understand that. Or looking for a relationship in church, because I guess the church is better than the club. Or did I just say that? Anyway, or anywhere else. I'm just saying that when you choose to pick from church, don't expect that person to be Jesus. Don't expect that person to fill every void. Don't expect it to be a relationship that does not require work. That's what I'm trying to say. You won't find the perfect person in church. So when you will see, for example, some people are toxic, some people are unfaithful, some people are unforgiving, it's not the church fault. It's the people's. Okay? And it's not Jesus' fault. It's the people's. All I'm saying, have a different mindset. When you want to join a church, most people, and this thing of joining a church to find a husband, okay. If your main reason why you go to church is to find a husband, that's the reason why you go to church. I don't think you understand what church is about. You go to church to build a relationship, not only to build a relationship with God, but to grow in a community. That is the biggest blessing of having a church, local church you go to, is that you have a community that can help you, that can cover you in prayer, that you can break bread with, and that can help you. The Bible says that iron sharpens iron. Trust me, that iron will sharpen you. And you will learn to be a better person. You will learn to be more like Jesus, because now you are in position where you have to be patient, where you have to grow, you have to forgive, you have to be kind, you have to be all those things. And church helps you with that. So one of the wrong reasons to go is because you want to have a spouse. I think it's great if you find one. There are a lot of people do find their spouses in church. And it's a great environment, because it's a place where not only the broken come, but it's also a place where the Holy Spirit changes hearts. But the essence of this conversation was talk about the wrong reasons why you should join a church, and the false things that you put in your mind, and then you're disappointed after being in a church. Don't go in there for people. Don't go in there because they told you the pastor is popular. Go where God is leading you. Yeah. Another thing that I think in church can kill you is comparison. Ooh. This one I've seen a lot. I'm talking like I've been in church for 50 years and I'm just 28. But anyways, Comparison is a killer of joy. I think that is something we all know, and that's something we hear a lot. But I don't think that's something we really give a heart to, or we pay like serious attention to. I don't know why we don't, but it's true, we do not. And I think if you're looking for a place where they compare people, there's no place where they do it like in church. If you look for a place where they will tell you flat to your face that they like when the other person leads more than when you lead a song, where they like the way the other person preach, you should preach like that person. I like the way that person leads, you should lead like them. There's no place that we try to kill your personality, you being natural. I'm having so much fun, you can tell. My line is even crooked. Whatever. That will tell you that you are not enough, that you need to be like another person, like church. Obviously, they will need you to prove yourself. I don't feel like something wrong with that, because even God puts you in a position where you are tested. But if you don't pay attention, you will go with the flow. You will allow people to tell you and denaturalize you, because they think you will do better if you are someone else, because they think you will be better if you were another person. And now you will start doing things like another person, because I don't have the brush for this, so I'm using this. Don't kill me in the cup. Don't kill me. Okay, whatever. I just need it to be blended. So you, as a person, need to be very confident in what you carry. So this brings something very important to me: awareness. Be self-aware. Spend enough time with God to know who you are, to know the beauty and the importance of the gifts that are inside of you, and to know what are the best way to use them, so they can be of benefit to the body of Christ. Ask God to give you so much confidence about yourself that you don't worry about nobody else, no matter what people say, because people will compare. That don't matter. That's a fact. People will tell you that you are not like that other person. They will remind you that the other person blesses people better than you. They will remind you that that person sings better, preaches better, is kinder, is more welcoming. But none of those things changes what you carry or what God chose you for. What I love about God, and when He says He chooses us, that I think we misunderstand. When you are chosen for something, for a task, it means you are the best option for it. It means they search. Because when you say choose, there is the silent understanding that there were options. So if I'm the one who is chosen for a job, that means that there were people that were considered for the job. And then, after consideration, after deliberation, it decided that I'm the one who has all the capacities, who has, I do sometimes my contouring with a liner. Anyway, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not stopping today. Fight your mama. Yes. Fight her. Anyway, I'm saying that you have been seen and considered as the right person for the job. So, you need to remind yourself all the time that I'm chosen. That means for whatever it is that I'm called for, if for you it's preaching you're called for, if for you it's leading worship you're called for, if it's being an apostle, if it's being a mentor, a counselor, an architect, a doctor, teacher, whatever it is that you're called to be. If you find it, Remind yourself every day that He chose me. So He looked far and wide and decided that for this, I'm the man for the job. And believe in that. And one of the ways to maintain that belief and that assurance that you're the one that God called, that you're the one that He chose, one of the best way to maintain that is to spend time with Him. Yeah. To spend so much time with Him that some things are just clear in your mind now. He said so I'll do it. He said so I will be the best of the best. Sometimes we lack confidence in what He said because not only we don't spend enough time with Him, but we don't ask more questions. He just says you're gonna be this and you say okay, amen, and then you're done. Let's be inquisitive. Like Mary. The angel comes to her door and goes, don't be afraid, Mary. You're gonna have a son. The power of the Almighty will come onto you and you will carry this child who will save humanity, yada yada. Mary didn't doubt. She was like, really, you will do it? Bet. How is it gonna happen? How are you gonna do it? And I feel like when you ask the how, it gives you more confidence for where you're going. Because the how comes with steps. Like for example, for me personally, I know that I was called by God. Sorry, I couldn't do both at the same time. Oh, it's cute. This is brighter than this, you know. I know that I was called by God, but also I know that I'm supposed to serve Him with my voice. That means preaching, singing. And when He told me about singing, I was like, okay, what do I need to do? I've known I can sing since I was 12. But when I was back home, I was an usher. Because I did not want to deal with the rehearsal hours. They were too much. And I was too lazy for that, to be honest. I was just going to hurt people. I was just going to be a stumbling rock for people for no reason. But when I got older and I got here in Nairobi, and God was like, I think it's time for you to start serving me again, but with your voice, with the music. The best way for me to start getting there to what He expects me to get to, before the crowds, before the albums, before the sold out tours, join a choir. I joined a choir, and I'm still in the choir. But joining a choir taught me a lot. Joining a choir taught me that I did not know a lot. It taught me the lot of things that I pretend to know that I don't know. That music is hard and it demands work and insane discipline. I did not know that. So those are the things God wanted me to learn. He wanted me to learn about discipline. He wanted me to learn about hard work before I became whatever it is that He wanted me to become. And His way of making me a great musician who will bless people is to teach me how to be disciplined in small things. Be on time for rehearsal. Sing the song you're supposed to sing. Show up even when you don't feel like it. Did I do it right all the time? No. Did I do my best? Absolutely. And I'm still doing it. And it's hard. And that's what happens. When you choose to listen to God and believe in where He's taking you. Ask Him questions. Trust me. Sometimes God doesn't answer you or doesn't talk aloud to you because you don't ask questions. Ask. Ask questions. When you ask questions, you are so invested in who you are, in who you're trying to become. Are you never looking at other people? You will celebrate them. You have a lot of work to do on your own. You don't have time to hate. You will celebrate your brother when God says we'll take him far. Because you know where you're going and you know that you are in the making process. I love what Jesus says to the disciple. He says, I will make you fishers of men. You won't show up here and just become fishers of men. It's a process. And how do you become fishers of men? You walk with me first for 3 years. You are hungry with me. You are persecuted with me. You are sad with me. You laugh with me. You see miracles with me. You have dark moments, sad moments with me. But you are with me first for 3 years as I'm walking on who you are. So that you can be the kind of person who fishes men. So, I think I'm going to stop here. I don't want this video to take too long. And I'm not finding my lip gloss. This is so sad. Well, my phone just fell off. Anyways, I think I'm just gonna put Vaseline because I have no choice. So, if you wanna join a church and if you wanna be a part of a community, consider all those things that I said. But most importantly, don't expect other people to care about your growth more than you. Focus on your growth. If you serve in a church where they don't care about your growth, or you don't feel like you're growing, maybe you're not in the right place. So the thing is just finding the right place where you feel like you're growing, you feel like Jesus called you to this place, and you feel like you're becoming a better person, because that's the point. So yeah, I hope this was able to help as I was facing my face. So blessing to you all. I hope we do more talkative videos like this where I'm just relaxed. And yeah, I didn't find lip gloss, but hey. So, people, serving God is so important. It's so necessary. If you love Him, you will serve in His church. But don't get inside expecting everything to be pink inside. You have to be aware of where you're going. You're not going to a place where everything is perfect. You're going to a place where you are surrounded with imperfect people. The last thing that I will say before I go, as I finished doing my face for no reason on a Sunday, is you can find the right community in your church. I think sometimes that's the thing that discourages people. They always go like people in church are fake, people in church are hypocrites. That is very true. But there are also some good people in church. I feel like for the right people you're supposed to have, just pray and ask God to help you build the best community ever. And you will find it. And the best communities will help you become the best person. You can find people who will care for you, who will care for your growth and for where you are going. All you have to do is just pray and be attentive and ask for discernment, and all will be well. So, blessing to all of you, and may my God be with all of you. Please share in the comments what you think. What do you think you never thought about that I talked about? Please feel free to engage, ask more questions. If you want me to talk about something else, I can do that. If you want me to talk about a different topic, about relationship, about dating, about something else, whatever it is, you can just let me know in the comment. And yeah, thank you and blessings.